Plaintiff Victoria Hay is suing her daughter's ex-boyfriend, Robert Wilson, who she says assaulted her disabled daughter. Victoria is suing for an unpaid credit card bill, a cell phone bill, and an unpaid loan. But Robert denies owing his ex-girlfriend's mother anything, and Robert claims the plaintiff's daughter actually assaulted him.
All right, our case this afternoon is the case of Victoria Hay against Robert Wilson. And Victoria alleges that the defendant in this case is her daughter's ex-boyfriend, and she is suing him for unpaid credit card bills, an unpaid cell phone bill, an unpaid loan, as well as court costs. So, Victoria, why don't you tell us, how did you meet the defendant, and how is it that you're here?
I have a daughter who is 36 years old that unfortunately was born with cerebral palsy, epilepsy, mental retardation, and crippled in her left arm and leg. I have pictures I'd like to show the court showing how limited her abilities are. Melody has a habit of running across these guys who are users and abusers and who take her on because she draws an SSI check and she can pay their bills. Bobby Wilson has a police record that's a mile long for assault and battery.
The defendant?
Eluding police. The defendant, yes, ma'am.
That's wrong. It's incorrect.
We'll get to you.
And I have copies of those documents as well.
All right, these documents are misdemeanor, marijuana possession, assault and battery, possession of marijuana, eluding police, drunk driving, soliciting without a permit. I'm surprised you had enough time to be here today. So,
Your Honor,
talk to me about your daughter. He's got a record. Why are we here?
they lived together for a year and a half.
Who's they?
Melody and Bobby Wilson. In February of 2008, I received a phone call.
Okay.
My daughter was screaming. I could hear yelling in the background. I could hear banging. And her hollering, help, help, help. I just kept saying her name and trying to get her on the phone, but I couldn't get anything. Finally, I guess a couple hours later, she called me back and told me that Bobby had beat her down and run her from the apartment and told her not to ever come back. I have pictures and a report from the hospital where she went to urgent care when she was having problems with her kidney, where she had a severe bruise. She went to urgent care to have this checked out. And while in urgent care, they determined that this was a case of assault and battery. Bobby Wilson was found guilty of assault and battery. He was sentenced to 60 days.
Does he serve 60 days?
No, ma'am. That's only if he doesn't have any further contact with Melody.
So for this assault, he's convicted. He gets 60 days, and then the judge suspends the sentence and says stay away from her, as if it never happened?
Yes,
With
ma'am.
a record like this? This is a crime. This is worthy of incarceration. Period. End of the story. Now let's get to your case.
Yes, ma'am. During the time they were together, Bobby had a full-time job at a hotel, a local hotel. He was fired from that job, so he went to work for temporary services. He needed a phone so that they could get in touch with him for jobs. So he made an agreement with me that if I would get him a cell phone on my account, that he would pay $25 a month for 24 months until this agreement was paid up.
You say there's an agreement he's going to pay you $25 a month.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you say to that?
I told her I never wanted the cell phone. That since she said since you're dating my daughter, she insisted on me having a cell phone. That she got a family plan, and that I would only have to pay $15 a month. I said I can get my own phone. I don't need your phone. She said, well, I've already got it. Take it. And so I took the phone.
All right. You took the phone, but you're saying there was no agreement. You didn't even want the phone.
Exactly.
Okay. Go ahead.
At the time of the assault, I suspended Bobby's phone.
Good idea. And get your daughter out of there.
And I did. She's living with me now. This is a copy of the service agreement. I'm not even asking. Bobby claimed that in October he lost the phone that I had gotten for him. So I had another phone that I gave him to use and still pay the $25 a month.
So he lost the phone that you say he agreed to pay $25 a month for that he says he didn't want.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, he lost it. So then you get him another phone?
So then I gave him another phone that I had.
Did you take a second phone from her?
I gave it back to her daughter to give it back to her.
But you took the second phone?
For maybe less than a month.
Okay, all right.
Until the assault. So I was only able to suspend the phone for 3 months. If you'll look at the last page that I handed you, at the end of the 3 months, suddenly someone was using that lost phone. So I had to go to the cell company and have the phone completely suspended. I'm only asking for the $10 a month for the suspended fee. And that totals $190. I have a total sheet here if you would like that.
This is your list of the of what you think you're out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and this is for, all right, the unpaid phone bill. Talk to me about the credit card bill.
During the time that Bobby was with my daughter, things seemed to be going pretty good. And he wanted a widescreen TV. And I agreed to let him get the TV on my Circuit City credit card.
What's the agreement, if any?
The agreement was he was to pay $100 a month and have the TV paid off within the 12-month grace period with no interest, no financing.
Did he pay you the $100 a month?
He paid all but 2 months of $100.
Okay.
I paid those 2 months. Mm-hmm. And then the last month, I'll give you this document, in March, he didn't pay the last payment of $99. So I ended up paying $299 on the TV.
Okay. And talk to me about the unpaid loan.
In November of 2007, Bobby and Melody had been living in a 2-bedroom apartment, but they decided to get a 1-bedroom garden apartment and do it on their own. So my daughter called me and she said Bobby wanted to know if I would pay his $68. He was $68 short. Would I pay it so they could go ahead and start moving, and he would pay me back on Thursday. Bobby did not pay me back.
All right. You know what, Bobby?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a woman here who's got documentation and everything she needs to prove her case. She is very thorough. Talk to me about the phone, the television, and the unpaid loan, the $68.
Oh, yeah. She was calling me, harassing me about the bills I owe. And I was like, well, your daughter
she wants her money.
Well, I was trying to explain to her, her daughter paid half of the rent. I paid the other half. When she was gone, I had to keep a roof over my head. I had to pay, my rent. She's like, well, I don't care if you don't make the payments. I said, I can come in here and I can shoot your TV and put one in you. And I said, I'm a private investigator.
She do what?
She said that I can shoot your TV and I can put one in you. That's what she said.
You have a gun?
Well, I'm a private investigator, but Your Honor, I didn't say that.
Did you ever threaten him?
Well, I threatened to shoot the TV.
You threatened to shoot the TV?
Yes. I said, if you don't pay for the TV, I'll shoot the screen out and you won't get to use it either.
Well, all right, so she threatened you. Why aren't you paying the bills?
Okay, because I was in the process of moving, and I had to have a deposit on another place to live.
So what you're saying is you had other bills to pay and you weren't going to pay her?
Well, I didn't have it.
You almost said exactly, right?
Well, that's pretty much, yeah. Because, place to live comes first. Yeah, almost.
The place you live comes first? What about the fact it's her money? What about the fact that she loaned it to you because you're living with her daughter? What about the fact that she's got bills? I mean, what's with people? What makes people think that they can borrow other people's money and then say, I don't have to pay you back, I got bills?
Well,
she's your first bill.
Your Honor, I got receipts that I paid up all the way to the last one, and then did it.
Bobby, let me explain something to you. She's already said you paid up to most of them.
I paid all but one.
But that is not an excuse. That is not justification. You can't say I paid most of it. This is a court where if somebody brings a complaint, she's got evidence up the kazoo, more evidence than I need for this case, and you're telling me that you had other bills. The verdict of this court is to render the plaintiff's request for $299 for the television. The unpaid cell phone bill, I'm not giving you the money for it because I really believe that was a gift. But the unpaid loan of $68 you get. And so the verdict is on behalf of the plaintiff. Stay out of trouble. Stay away from disabled women. If I were the judge, you'd be in jail now.